कृष्णे स्वायम्भुवे सति तदायं सुतपा नाम प्रजापतिरकल्मषः। Sri Bhagavan Vacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said to Devaki, Tvam, you, Eva, indeed, Purva Sarge, in a previous millennium, Abhuhu became Prishnihi by the name Prishni, Swayambhuve, the millennium of Swayambhuva Manu, Sati, O supremely chaste, Tada, at that time, I am Vasudeva, Sutapa, Sutapa, Nama, by the name Prajapatihi, a Prajapati, Akalmashaha, a spotlessly pious person. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Vaicharana Aravind, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead replied, My dear mother, best of the chaste, in your previous birth, in the Swayambhuva millennium, you were known as Krishni, and Vasudeva, who was the most pious Prajapati, was named Sutapa. Please repeat the translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead replied, My dear mother, best of the chaste, in your previous birth, in the Swayambhuva millennium, you were known as Prishni, and Vasudeva, who was the most pious Prajapati, was named Sutapa. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead made clear that Devaki had not become his mother only now. Rather, she had been his mother previously also. Krishna is eternal, and his selection of a father and mother from among his devotees takes place eternally. Previously also, Devaki had been the Lord's mother, and Vasudeva the Lord's father, and they were named Prishni and Sutapa. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears, he accepts his eternal father and mother, and they accept Krishna as their son. This pastime takes place eternally and is therefore called Nitya Leela. Thus, there was no cause for surprise or ridicule, as confirmed by the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti sorjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. One should try to understand the appearance and disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from Vedic authorities, not from imagination. One who follows his imagination about the Supreme Personality of Godhead is condemned. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashtikam param bhavamajananta mama bhuta maheshwaram. Bhagavad Gita 9.11. The Lord appears as the son of his devotee by his param bhavam. The word bhava refers to the stage of pure love, which has nothing to do with material transactions. That ends the Bhaktivedanta purport and translation. Canto 10, Chapter 3, Text 32 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namavo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. After hearing the prayers of Mother Devaki in the prison house of Kamsa, at the instance of the Lord's appearing as the son of Mother Devaki, the Supreme Lord Krishna, being very pleased with his mother Devaki, replied as follows. So, replying to his mother, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Lord expressed, "My dear mother, Sati, the best of the chaste woman, is Devaki. Tvam eva purva sarge abhuhu Krishna. In your previous birth, purva sarge, sarga refers to creation and purva refers to the past, previous. So purva sarge, tvam, you, my dear mother, chaste mother, Sati, uh, in your previous birth, when Swayambhuve, in the Swayambhuva millennium. But when Krishna was talking this to Mother Devaki, that was Vaivasvata millennium. It's a present millennium where we are now currently experiencing or present at. This is the Vaivasvata millennium going on now. So Krishna is saying Swayambhu millennium. Swayambhu millennium is the first millennium, the creation. So in that millennium, Purva Sarge, obviously it is prior to Vaivasvata. Therefore, Purva Sarge, in Swayambhu millennium, in your previous birth, Tvam eva Purva Sarge Abhuhu Prishni. You appeared as Mother Prishnu. And Tada, at that time, I am Sutapa Nama. Vasudeva appeared as Sutapa. And who was Vasudeva? He was Prajapatir, Akalmashaha. He was a Prajapati and a very, very pious Prajapati. And he was named Sutapa. So this is what the Lord is telling Mother Devaki. So it is not that Lord Krishna appeared to Mother Devaki and Vasudeva for the first time in Dwapara Yuga, in this millennium. Krishna is saying, no, even previously I have become your son. And that reference Krishna is giving in this verse. So Vasudeva was Prajapati, Sutapa was the most pious Prajapati, Prajapati Akalmashaha, and Mother Devaki was the most chaste, and she was Prishni. So what is this Swayambhu millennium, Vaivasvata millennium, Prajapati? What do all these terms indicate? Let's try to understand. Vedic uh, hierarchy, social structure, and Vedic cosmic time. Little, let's try to understand now. And where does Brahma, Devatas, all these personalities fit in? So before understanding Swayambhu millennium and Prajapati, let's understand all these terms. Who's the Supreme Lord? Who is Brahma? Who's Prajapati? Who are the Manus? Because Swayambhu Manu refers to Swayambhu millennium, refers to Swayambhu Manus, term and period. So what is this Manu? Who is this Manu? So let's understand all these things. As far as the Supreme Lord is concerned, all the Vedic literatures emphatically declare he is the supreme maintainer, predominator, the original source of everything, all the universes, all the living entities, both in the material world and in the spiritual world, whether liberated or not liberated. And he is the supreme maintainer, provider, protector, creator, primary creator. He created the spiritual world, he created this material world. Of course, spiritual world, there is nothing like creation because it eternally exists, but still it is manifested by the Lord. Now, as far as the material world is concerned, this world is regularly created, maintained, and wound up by the Lord. So, all the Devatas, who are all living entities, Jiva Tattva, not Vishnu Tattva, they're all created by Him, sent to this world for a particular purpose. And He gives them repeated opportunities to become purified and go back to Godhead. And for which purpose the Lord brings about this creation. Now, for the Lord to do this creation, He can accomplish it everything by Himself. Swayameva karitavan Bhagavan Vasudevaha. That's what the Shastras say. In our Sankalpa daily, when we chant, before doing Abhishekam, we chant this. Swayameva karitavan Bhagavan Vasudevaha. So Bhagavan is Vasudeva, the son of Vasudeva. He can accomplish everything by his own capabilities. He does not require the help or assistance of anyone. Yet, in order to give opportunity for every other living being, living entity, even up to Brahma and even above Brahma, the Lord gives opportunity for them to render service to Him and become purified and go back to Godhead. Although the Lord can do everything Himself, He gives opportunity for many other living beings to assist Him, although not depending on them. The first one is Brahma in this line. The Lord personally appoints Brahma of this universe. Every universe there is a Brahma, and the Lord personally appoints, selects and appoints Brahma. Who is this Brahma? So, it's described in many places. The origin of Brahma. So, Brahma is born of the lotus stem, which is appearing from the navel of Vishnu. And the particular form of Vishnu from whom this lotus is emanating is called Padmanabha. That's why we have in the Tiruvananthapuram the temple called Ananta Padmanabha Swami. So this is that Padmanabha from whom the universal lotus is appearing, and from which universal lotus Lord Brahma is born. So Lord Brahma is born directly from Vishnu without the help of Mother Lakshmi. Mother Lakshmi was sitting next to Vishnu only, but without her assistance, the Lord gave birth to Brahma. This is another example of the Lord does not require the assistance of anyone. So Brahma was born from Vishnu's navel, from the universal lotus. Elsewhere also it is described, Brahma is the original creature born out of the energy of the Supreme Lord, who is known as Hiranyagarbha. In the Narayana Upanishad, one of the very important Upanishads, it is said like this. This is in reference to the origin of not only Brahma, Varuna, Chandra, Indra, Prajapatis, Rudras. What is their origin? Very nice verse. It is explained. Very famous verse. Narayanat Brahma Jayate, Narayanat Prajapati Prajayate, Narayanat Indro Jayate, Narayanat Ashto Vasavo Jayante, Narayanat Ekadasha Rudra Jayante, Narayanat Dvadashadityaha. So like this the mantra goes on. What is that? Narayanat Brahma Jayate. From Narayana, Brahma is born, manifested. Narayanat Prajapati Prajayate. From Narayana, the Prajapatis take birth. Narayanat Indro Jayate. From Narayana, Indra is born. Narayanat Ashtau Vasabho Jayante. From Narayana, the 8 Vasus are born. Narayanat Ekadasha Rudra Jayante. From Narayana, Ekadasha Rudra, the 11 Rudras are born. Narayana Dvadasha Aditya, and from Narayana the 12 Adityas. Sun also is an Aditya, Surya, one of the Adityas. So Narayana Dvadasha Aditya. So from Narayana the 12 Adityas also were born. Lord Vamana is described as the best of the Adityas. So, what does this Brahma do? What is his role? Origin of Brahma we discussed. Now, what is Brahma's role? Brahma, he is the personality in charge of the mode of passion in administering this universe. Because this universe is set in motion with the help of many things. One of them is the 3 modes of material nature. So, Lord Brahma is the director of the mode of passion. Director of the mode of passion. Elsewhere also it is said Lord Brahma is the deity of the mode of passion. Meaning he is not in Rajoguna, but he is the director of Rajoguna because he is always in the department of Rajoguna, managing all the affairs of passion. Sometimes he becomes affected by passion. Lord Shiva, he is the director of the mode of ignorance. Not that he is in Tamoguna. Again. And Lord Vishnu is the director of the mode of goodness. These are the 3 deities of material creation. Yet, Lord Vishnu stands above Brahma and Shiva in the context that is completely untouched by the gunas. Sometimes Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, they become affected by the modes because they're always associated with that particular mode, although they're directors of the modes. But as far as Vishnu is concerned, he is never affected by the influence of any of the modes. He is completely transcendental. then Brahma is a Jiva Tattva. He is a living being. Of course, Shiva is not a Jiva Tattva. He is neither Vishnu nor Jiva. He is in between. He is above Jiva Tattva. He is almost on par with Vishnu. He is the incarnation, plenary incarnation of Vishnu for the purpose of maintaining this world by maintaining tamoguna, the mode of ignorance. So why this rajoguna, tamoguna and satoguna has to be maintained in this world? Because the jivas have those inclinations. The jivas have sattvic inclination, rajasic inclination, tamasic inclinations. Now to facilitate them, the Lord has brought about these two personalities and himself taking charge of Satvaguna or mode of goodness. Now, why the Lord has to maintain this world through these three gunas, Satvaguna, Rajaguna, Tamoguna? Because the idea is when the jivas, they become exhausted with all these three gunas, become saturated with all these three gunas, and they become enlightened and come to transcendental mode, then they will begin worship of Vishnu. Then their path back to Godhead begins. So, hoping that the living beings, after enjoying in this material world, and they realize that there is no enjoyment in this material world, it is temporary and it is not of the nature of spirit, it is not of spiritual quality, it is very inferior quality of enjoyment and it is temporary, but I am seeking eternal enjoyment and of a spiritual quality and spiritual nature. And then the turn towards spiritual life and Bhagavad Gita and become devotees, then the jivas will actually come in touch with auspiciousness. This is the real auspiciousness. When the jiva takes up to Krishna consciousness, takes to spiritual life, that is the real auspiciousness for the jiva. So the Lord is awaiting and hoping that the jivas will take up to my advice in the Bhagavad Gita and transform their consciousness from material to spiritual, follow my directions and come back to Godhead. So that is why this entire material arrangement is done. And for making all these arrangements, elaborate arrangements, the Lord has created this material universe, giving opportunity for the jivas to fulfill all their material propensities and eventually give up these material propensities and turn their face to Krishna. But that will take long time. It will take millenniums, it will take even different, many creations. Therefore, the Lord always has to set in motion this creation time and again. Now, to manage all of these things, the Lord can do. But the Lord also wants to give opportunity for the jiva to serve Him. And in this way, make a turn in his life. Because all the while he is serving his senses or serving some material needs and necessities. But when he begins to serve the need of the soul and the Supreme Lord, then the path of liberation begins for the jiva. Therefore, unless the jiva participates in devotional service to the Lord, there is no question of turning his path to liberation. No question of bringing in auspiciousness in his life. Auspiciousness begins when he begins his devotional service to the Supreme Lord. So to give that opportunity, the Lord takes assistance of jivas in this world. And the first of them is Brahma. So, how is this Brahma selected? What is his qualification? So one place Prabhupada explains, what is Brahma's qualification to become Brahma? The highest pious living entity or the greatest devotee of the Lord in a particular universe is empowered with the potency of the Lord for creation, and he is called Brahma. Okay? Uh, Three things in this particular phrase. The most pious living being in a universe, among all the pious jivas, there are many pious people in the world. But the highest amount of punya who is having, which jiva is having, he becomes Brahma. Then the other possibility is the greatest devotee of the Lord also becomes Brahma. And when the Lord empowers a jiva, he becomes Brahma. Or the first two categories, the highest pious living being or the great devotee of the Lord is empowered by the personal potency of the Lord to fulfill his act, his purpose. And the Lord's purpose is creating this world. First of all, you have to create the world. Then the jivas are brought into this world. And then they fulfill their desires. When the desires are exhausted, they may hopefully be grateful to the Lord. My Lord, thank you. You have fulfilled all my desires. Now, what can I do for you? Natural, right? Suppose if I go on fulfilling your desire, next you will say, you become very satisfied. Prabhu, you fulfill all my wishes and desires. Okay, I should do something for you. Please tell me. So Lord is giving opportunity to fulfill your desires, hoping one day the jiva will turn his face. Okay, Krishna, you have done so much for me. No, 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 no. I feel very guilty and feel greatly indebted. I should do something for you, my Lord. What can I do for you? So therefore the Lord has to create. So he empowers this Brahma to create this world. Prabhupada explains very nicely. This empowerment of Brahma is like this. The Lord's power is like the power of the sun. And Brahma's power is like the sun's shining nature reflected on precious stones and jewels. And then they start radiating. Sometimes you see the stones, precious stones and jewels also radiate, right? Give some light. But that light is the reflection received from the sun. Similarly, Brahma is also exercising lot of power. Lot of power. But that power is the reflection of Krishna's power. Like the reflection of the sunshine represented by the precious stones and jewels. The minute quantity. Sometimes when there is no qualified living being fulfilling the criteria of Brahma, the Lord himself takes up that role and becomes Brahma. Just like we see in the administration also. There is a chief minister or there is a prime minister and there are other host of ministers. Some 30 plus ministers, depending upon the requirement. And if there is no qualified minister, the chief minister himself keeps that portfolio for himself. Because he does not find anyone eligible or qualified. So he himself runs that department also. So like that, when there's no qualified living being to the post of Brahma, the Lord himself takes up that role. That is true with any other position also. Even other devatas, prajapatis, the Lord himself takes up that role. Then Brahma is described in the Bhagavad Gita as the grandfather, Pitamaha. Pitamaha. But Krishna is described as Prapitamaha, the creator of the grandfather. This is described in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, text 39. Is of one of the prayers offered by Arjuna to Krishna after he saw the Vishwarupa. Very nice prayer. There he says, Vayurjamogniर्वरुणः सशाङ्कः प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रपितामहश्च. So Arjuna says, Krishna, you are Vayu. You are the creator of Vayu, air. You are the supreme controller. referring to Yama. Agnihi, you are fire. Varunaha, you are water. Shashankaha, you are the moon, and you are Brahma. Prajapati Stvam, the first living creature. Brahma is the first conscious, cognizant, created being in this world. Therefore, it is not true that the most intelligent being dates back only to 10,000 years. No. The most intelligent being is the very first creation of God. Because God is the supreme intelligent person. So why will he produce a fool? So the Lord's creation also is most intelligent. So the first created being is the most intelligent being because he has created the whole universe. You think a fool can create a universe? A madman will only destroy things. There's a camera which is recording, right? An intelligent person come and set it up now. But a madman, he'll throw it and break it. How can an intelligent man create this camera? So, if this entire universe has to be created, how much intelligence is needed? You think he'll be an unintelligent being or dull entity? Not possible. Has to be the most intelligent, and that is Brahma. So the first created being is Brahma, who is the most intelligent, who did this creation. So he is the first living creature, no doubt. Therefore, he is called grandfather, Pitamaha, by Arjuna. But Arjuna also addresses Krishna as Prapitamaha, Prajapatischa Prapitamaha. Krishna is the creator of the grandfather or the great grandfather. So this is about little about Brahma. Now let's understand Manu, because we're talking about Swayambhuva millennium. It refers to the period of Swayambhuva Manu. So what is Manu? Who is Manu? Manu is the original father of mankind. That is why Manushya, we as a race are called Manushya. Because our origin, our roots are from Manu. Just like you track the Gotra, right? We all have caste name, a surname, Sharmaji, Bandopadhyay. Like we have different surnames, right? So if you go on tracking, basically it belongs to one particular lineage, family lineage. You go on tracking back, it will go to Prajapati. Further it will go to Manu. Further it will go to Brahma. Finally it will go to Lord Vishnu or Krishna. Vishnu himself is a Prajapati, by the by. The first Prajapati. He creates Brahma. Brahma is also Prajapati. Prajapati means Praja Utpatti, one who is producing living beings. Praja. So Manu is also Prajapati. So he is the original father of mankind. And Manu is the representative of Brahma, and Brahma is the representative of Krishna. See, one represents the other. So Brahma is representing Lord Vishnu in this universe. Manu is representing Lord Brahma. Manu is also a Prajapati because he is also populating this universe, creating the species. Lord Brahma, with the help of these Manus, the first set of living beings were sent to this world, and they were given different kinds of bodies with the help of Brahma and the Manus and Prajapatis. By Vishnu's direction, Lord Brahma, Manus and Prajapatis create all the 84 lakh species of life. You see birds, beasts, reptiles, aquatics, human beings, devatas, asuras, kinnaras, kimpurushas, charanas, vidyadharas, yakshas. So many varieties of living beings are there, having different bodies. So those 84 lakh species were simultaneously created in the beginning of creation. It is not one after the other. All those species eternally exist. in one or the other planet or in one or the other universe. Simultaneously, they're existing and they are simultaneous with the creation. So, Brahma, Manu, they assist in this creation process. So, therefore, Swayambhu Manu is a Prajapati. And what is his function? He is the lawgiver of mankind. That is his role, his duty. He is the lawgiver of mankind. Therefore, he has come about with what is called Manu Samhita. Manu Samhita, which are codes of law, code of conduct, code of conducting oneself in this world. By following those codes, one will gradually make progress in his spiritual understanding and eventually become fully Krishna conscious. And this is a law book for the entire human society because he is the head of all the human beings. And all other kings of all the planets of the universe are representatives of Manu. The Brahma is representative of Vishnu, Manu is representative of Brahma, and all other kings in any planet, they are supposed to be representatives of Manu. Therefore, they have to follow the principles of Manu. Otherwise, how are you representative? How are you representing? So, Brahma does not follow Krishna, then how is he representative of Krishna or Vishnu? Similarly, Manu doesn't follow Brahma, how is he representing Brahma? Similarly, the other kings, they don't follow Manu Samhita. How are they sitting in the king's position? Misrepresentation. So, if you claim to represent somebody, you should follow him fully. Otherwise, you can't claim to be so. Just like if you represent India in a SARC meeting or wherever, you should represent the interests of India. You can't be representing the interests of somebody and still say you are representing the country. So like that, all the kings of the different planets of the universe are representatives of Manu. So this Manu Samhita, it directs all activities towards the transcendental service of the Lord. That is the goal of Manu Samhita, to eventually bring you to the point of pure devotional service. It's a gradual process. This is the position of Manu. Now, the first Manu is Swayambhu Manu. Now, how many Manus are there? Who is this Swayambhu Manu? Why we say is the first? That means, are there many other Manus? Yes. So, this Manu has to be understood in connection with the life of Brahma. So, let's understand Brahma now. Once again, coming back to Brahma, let's understand Brahma's life. So, Brahma has got 100 years. Each year has got 365 days, consisting of 12 months, and each month having 30 days. Same calculation as we have. Let's take one day of Brahma now. So, in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus who come and go. 14 Manus who come and go. Then, that means in 1 month of Brahma, there are 420 Manus. In 1 year of Brahma, there are 5040 Manus. And one lifetime Brahma with 100 years, there are 504,000 Manus. And Brahma's 100 breath, 100 years. Brahma's 100 years lifespan is about 311 trillion 40 billion years. This is one breath of Mahavishnu. That's all. So in one breath of Mahavishnu, there are 5 lakh Manus. You can imagine. That is why Prabhupada says he is called Mahavishnu, not Vishnu. Vishnus also, there are gradations. There are Vishnus and there is Mahavishnu. Maha means great. So among Vishnus also there is again gradation, because there are 3 Vishnus. Primarily for creation, but there are many other Vishnus also who may not be involved in the process of creation, but they have different other purposes and functions and necessity. So 3 Vishnus are connected with this material creation. They are Mahavishnu, Karunya Vishnu, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. 3 Vishnus are connected with this creation of this material cosmos. So in that Mahavishnu, why is it called Mahavishnu? You can just imagine why is it called Mahavishnu. Is one breath lasts the life of Brahma is 311 trillion 440 billion years. In that 5 lakh Manus come and go. So if we break up the time scale, that means one Manu, he lives for 1000 cycles of 4 yugas. 4 yugas put together is called one Mahayuga. One yuga is about 4,32,000 years. This is all discussed in Bhagavatam. Shukadeva Goswami gives all this time frame. We get information from the authorized scriptures about cosmic time to micro time. There's a chapter only, calculation of time from atom, in the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam. The chapter only is there. Physicists can enjoy that chapter and do good research. So, 43 lakh years is one yuga, and one Mahayuga is 4x. I'm sorry, it is 10x. One Mahayuga, consisting of all the 4 yugas put together. Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga, all put together is about 43 lakh years. This is one Mahayuga. So, one Mahayuga multiplied by 1000 times, that comes to about 430 crore years. So, one Manu lives for 430 crore years, or about 71, little more than 71 Mahayugas. So, 430 crore years is the life of one Manu. Like that, there are 14 Manus in a day of Brahma. Sorry, 430 crore years is the day of Brahma. So 430 crore divided by 14. It's about 36 crore, 35 plus 35, 36 crore years is life of one Brahma. One Manu. One Manu lives for that many years. So the first Manu of the 14 Manus is Swayambhu Manu. Then there are other Manus also. That is also described. Swayambhu Manu is the first Manu, and the post occupied is by Yagna. Yagna is the Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu also is a post name. Brahma is a post name. Indra is a post name. Chandra is a post name. Rudra is a post name. Varuna is a post name. One qualified Jiva will occupy that post, that position. So Swayambhu Manu is a seat. Just like we have HR minister, IT, BT minister, Panchayat Raj minister, Home minister, Finance minister. So Swayambhu Manu is a law giver, law ministry. Okay, so like that. So Swayambhu Manu is a post. Yagna is the Jiva, the very pious Jiva occupying this Swayambhu Manu's position. So that time it was Yagna who was Swayambhu Manu, which Krishna is referring here. In the Swayambhu millennium, my dear mother, I appeared as your son that time also. That time it was Swayambhu was Yagna. Then next is Swarochisha Manu, the second Manu. Vibhu was Swarochisha Manu. Satyasena as Uttama Manu, third one. Fourth, Hari as Tamasa Manu. Fifth, Vaikunta as Raivata Manu. Sixth Manu, Ajita as Chakshusha Manu. Seventh, Vamana as Vaivasvata Manu. The current age is we were discussing Vaivasvata Manu. So in this present Manu also Lord Vamana also appeared. In fact, all the 3 times when Krishna appeared, it was with reference to this particular cycle. Okay. Of Manus in this day of Brahma. Vamana as Vaivasvata Manu, Sarvabhauma as Savarni Manu, Rishabha as Daksha Savarni Manu, Vishwaksena as Brahma Savarni Manu, Dharma Setu as Dharma Savarna Manu, Sudhama as Rudra Savarni Manu, Yogeshwara as Deva Savarni Manu, and finally Brihat Banu as Indra Savarni Manu. These are the 14 Manus and the persons occupying that posts. That means even the next 7 who are even yet to appear, also Shukadeva Goswami already gives the list in advance. Future Manus are also being discussed here. So Krishna says to Mother Devaki, in that Swayambhu millennium, you appeared as Krishna, and my father Vasudeva appeared as as Vasudeva. And at that time, Krishna promised to Krishna and Sutapa, I will appear 3 times from you because I'm so devoted and obliged and pleased with your love, affection, and service. Therefore, I will appear from you 3 times. He gave a promise. And he has kept his promise. And Krishna reminds that to Devaki. In Krishna addressing to her that, my dear mother, the third time I'm taking birth, not the first time, and I've kept my word. So this Prishni Garbha, that time, in the first birth, from Prishni and Sutapa, the Lord was named Prishni Garbha. This Prishni Garbha is the Lord who instructed Dhruva Maharaj and inspired him and delivered Dhruva Maharaj. And it is this Prishni Garbha who created this Dhruva Loka, which is a Vaikuntha planet, which is not destructible even when the entire universe is destroyed. It will remain because it is Vaikuntha. So this Prishni Garbha gifted Vaikuntha Loka to Dhruva Maharaj. Then second birth, the Lord appears Vamana, a son of Kashyapa and Aditi. Then third time is appearing as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva as Lord Krishna. And here Krishna says, particularly elsewhere it is described, in the other 2 births, the Lord only appeared as an incarnation. As his expansion he appeared. Prishnigarpa and Vamana were the Lord's expansions. But Krishna tells Mother Devaki, this time I have personally appeared as the original personality of Godhead, not as an expansion or incarnation, because I'm extremely pleased with your devotion. So I have personally, the original Lord Krishna, myself I'm appearing for you. And I could have given you liberation in very first birth when I appeared, because seeing the Lord is actually liberation. Then why is it again and again Aditi and Kashyapa, Prishnigarba, Prishni and Sutapa are again appearing as Vasudeva and Devaki? Because they desired the Lord to become their son. Therefore, liberation was not awarded. So the Lord says, my dear mother and father, this time let me award liberation to you and take you back to Godhead. I want to do that for you. So this is the description. The Lord is addressing the mother, his mother, Devaki, that how he appeared in the Swayambhu millennium. The first millennium in the day of Brahma and in the cycle of Manus. So that time they were Prishni and Vasudeva, and the Lord appeared as Prishni Garba. Stop it. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.